The agenda of the the Planning Commission meeting was really considering the draft 12th five-year plan. So I'm happy to say we had a very good discussion. Many comments were made on different aspects, and the Planning Commission meeting concluded by approving the document, subject to our incorporating some of the suggestions that have been made, and then we will take it to the Cabinet for approval. I mean, we are of course revising the document anyway in the light of many different comments that have been received. We will incorporate the points made actually in the full Planning Commission meeting. But broadly, I mean, the following are the highlights of what has been approved. First of all, the Planning Commission endorsed the view that given the changed international circumstances, that the lowering of the target from the 9% earlier envisaged to 8.2% is actually realistic in the sense it's actually very difficult. And we have outlined that in order to achieve it, we will have to do a number of things that are laid out in the plan document. But I think it's a realistic, good achievement given the change that has occurred in the international economic situation. The Planning Commission members also noted the fact that we are for the first time drawing the attention of the public that, you know, there are scenarios that can happen, and that if we don't actually do what is required, then there are two other scenarios. I want to emphasize that the Planning Commission members said that these are not alternatives. We're not saying you can either do scenario 1 or scenario 2. I think what the Commission said was it's absolutely vital that we achieve scenario 1, which the country can achieve, and if for some reason we slip, then the outcomes will be much worse, and the plan document brings that out. There were several aspects of the plan which received a lot of attention. Prime Minister himself emphasized, as did the Minister for Agriculture, that the 4% growth rate for agriculture is very critical for achieving inclusiveness. And the Prime Minister noted in his opening remarks that we improved performance in the 11th plan from 2.4% in the 10th to 3.3%. Now we must go for 4% in the 12th plan. Prime Minister noted in his initial remarks that, you know, we have now got a reasonably good growth performance. In the 11th plan, 7.9%, 10th plan, 7.6%. So the average over a 10-year period is just under 8%, which is good. I think we are also drawing attention to the fact that this has been a period of very good performance on inclusiveness. So if you look at the period from 2004 onwards, and you compare it to the previous 10 years, basically the decline in poverty is much faster. Secondly, the growth of per capita consumption in rural areas is almost twice as fast. And in many other dimensions, like for example school enrollment, the result of many of the flagship schemes, the impact of Manrega on rural employment and rural wages, basically the period after 2004 shows much better performance than earlier. But I think, as the Prime Minister said, we have to do even better. So the 12th plan is building on a certain amount of success, but trying to do even better. You know, as far as sectoral allocations are concerned, there was a lot of support for the notion that we are putting more money into health and education. And when I say health, there was a perception that there are linked sectors which we are also emphasizing a lot, and they are basically drinking water and sanitation. I think the plan document lays down very clearly that the experience of the industrialized countries shows that it is when clean drinking water and sanitation is provided that you get a big improvement in health conditions. Of course, you also have to do a lot of the building up of public health, immunization, curative health, etc. But these should be viewed as part of the same package, and some members said that we should emphasize the fact that these sectors are getting a big thrust during the 12th plan.